Why are vampires always wealthy in movies? Like, how do they make a living? If you've been alive since 1892 and still broke, just step into the sun. You may as well crunch on some garlic first too. Why not go out with some flavor? I have an IQ of 154 and I want to make good use of my giftedness, currently in the 11th grade. What should I do? You have an IQ of 154 and you're asking strangers what to do. My advice, get another test. The last one was a false positive. Idiot. Finish the sentence. My favorite part of Windows 11 is that it's not supported on my machine. Pay me more or I quit. Imagine thinking getting paid enough to live is a game. More than 60% of Americans say using a job offer from another company for the sole purpose of receiving a salary increase is an ethical practice. Pay workers too little, and they'll quit. Bosses play risky games with their workers. There, I fixed it. Can you imagine today's youth storming the beaches of Normandy? I can't imagine today's boomers doing it. All y'all do is buy commemorative Trump teddy bears and post "How to open PDF" as a Facebook status. Ever hear of the Vietnam War? No. Who won? Ow! Woo! That's my favorite one. Good Lord. So I'm pumping gas and all I hear is, "God damn." Then another man says, "Yeah man, I said the same thing." And I'm acting like I don't hear either one. Gas $4 a gallon and you think they were talking about you? Yeah, she's the main character, don't you know? One of the quotes I've always remembered from Coach Vrabel 50 was, "The great ones make it look easy." I hope you didn't think I was talking about you when I said that. The British Museum has blocked you. No one. The British Museum. I see. The British Museum will take anything but jokes. LOL, I joined Marvel at 35, buddy. My market value just hit the roof. Yeah, you're too old for all that energy. Your market value has already decreased at 35, buddy. God, this stuff is so stupid. It's stupid. Classic mayo on toast. The only thing more inbred than this mayo is you, Paul. Christ, that is just so much mayo. Ugh. I played every sport, and it was weird back then. If you wanted a trophy, you had to finish in first place. It's not even a funny joke, because they had trophies for other places and moron. Thank you, Jeff Foxworthy, for speaking the truth. Few comedians are brave enough to rip their material from a Minions meme, a 65-year-old middle manager with their education listed as the School of Hard Knocks, whose profile picture is 70% their chin, posted to Facebook in 2014. Also, what generation invented participation trophies, Jeff? Who did that? It wasn't the fetuses. When the girl you invited over is so bored by Netflix's shitty film selection that she decides to leave? Maybe because you were actually trying to watch a movie, Brian. Come on, Brian. Think. I bet nobody under 40 knows what this is. Right, because all bread is digital now. Oh, I love that, man. But we gotta talk about that iFunny watermark. Me or the PS5? Women hate being compared to objects, but ask me or the PS5. That's just such a dumb tweet. Honestly, embarrassing. If you're a single woman over the age of 24, it's over for you. A woman is at her peak fertility at age 23. After this, she loses around 10% per year in attractiveness and desirability. Men also become increasingly repulsed because they innately know older women have less time to breed. Hell, if I was a 23-year-old man, I'd say anything to lose my virginity too. Oh, imagine tweeting something like that, telling on yourself that hardcore for the entire world to see and know. This man asked me out on a date. He was actually fine as hell, but when I asked him where we were going, and he said, and I quote, ladies, Applebee's, I bust out laughing at his silly cheap ass. I told him, I own my own shop, a house, a BMW, and stocks. I can buy Applebee's. Really solid investment. Then I walked away. You should have seen his face. I'm worth more than Applebee's. You have to impress me and that ain't it. Ladies, keep them standards high as hell. Don't settle for a broke man. So, because he offered to take you to dinner at Applebee's, he's broke? You had to tell him all of your worldly accomplishments to sound good? You don't know that man's financial status. He could own several Applebee's. He could be a broker. He could be a doctor. But you judged him off of a restaurant? I'm sure if I saw his face, he would be laughing because he just dodged a bullet. You own all of those things, but you still don't have a man. It's not because your standards are high, it's because you ain't Nurse, I skip meals to feed my children. Yet you could buy a big bag of dried pasta. That'd feed a family for about 50p. If you shop and cook properly, you can eat healthy meals really cheaply. I would love to see how she spends her salary. Your tweet is weapons-grade, tone-deaf thunderbollocks. You need to remember that without the means to cook it, a saucepan, water, gas, electricity, a hob in case your maid hasn't told you this, a 50p bag of dried pasta is about as much use as a bacon buddy stall in Tel Aviv. Oh, I didn't recognize quite a few of those words, but I know exactly what he's saying. Kevin, you're f***ing idiot. Don't want one. I'll pay $10 for gas before buying an electric car. How stupid is that? I'll pay for 2 horses before I pay for one of them fancy Model Ts. Oh, well, you can pay $10 for gas all you want. Electric cars are gonna be the way we go, whether you like it or not. So, suck it, I guess? I would like to know why my post got deleted after being approved by admin too many likes or something. Okay. As an admin, I guess the real question is, do you get so little attention in real life that you have to post a dirt bike in a ranger group? I'm not the one who approved nor the one who deleted it. Go join a dirt bike group, or at least have your ranger in the picture also. Seems pretty simple. But go on thinking we give a single shit about how many likes your picture got. And that was the reason we deleted it. Welcome to KFC, can I take your order? We were not expecting this. Just like you weren't expecting Podium on the weekend. Yeah, I get it. Totally makes sense. I'm totally in the know here. I understand. 200K to 9K. I lost all the money my grandma gave me before she died. Take what you have left and get a vasectomy. From 300K to 69K. Lost my kid's college money I've been saving for a long time. He's graduating high school next year, and I need to make it back. Any non-YOLO stock advice greatly appreciated. Tell your kid they're hiring at Wendy's and to figure out their own path because their dad has a fucking gambling problem. What a horrible thing to hear. That Turning Red Disney movie is not appropriate for children. Yuck. That Turning Red Disney movie is not appropriate for parents who suck at communicating with their children. Fix that for you. I was just asked my pronouns. For future reference, they are, you are a f***ing moron. I'll be sure to respect your pronouns and refer to you as such. Oh, Randy, you're a little b****. After 2 months of talking, I told this guy yesterday that I wasn't ready for a relationship, and he responded, "It's been great, and I hope you have a good one." And then he blocked me. No effort, no pressure applied. I'm devastated. You're devastated because he respected your decision? Yeah, funny how that works, huh? You borrow, you repay. Simple as that. I hate it when irresponsibility is rewarded. Like how boomers destroyed the economy and Earth and still get Social Security. And they get the right to take it away from us. Last week, I went into an Atlanta coffee shop right after Ryan Reynolds had been there. The staff was still so flustered they got my order wrong. But I'm Canadian, so I drank it. Curious if they got his order wrong too. I don't think they got my order wrong. Partly because I always order a really simple black coffee, but mainly because I wasn't in Atlanta. European colonial history in 6 words. Is that yours? It's mine now. Well, that's human history. The Bushmen would say the same thing about the Bantu, the Persian about the Egyptian, most of the world from the viewpoint of Genghis Khan, making all history about white Europeans is diametrically opposite of your call for truth in science. If you set aside the dog napping and puppy skinning plots, which are admittedly hard to overlook, Disney's version of Cruella has always been a bit of a feminist fantasy. If you set aside making a suit out of those women, Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs was just a guy trying to achieve his dreams. Man, the New York Times says some stupid shit. My wife is in an open relationship, but it's not open for jokes. Probably Will Smith. You either admit laws are stupid and shouldn't exist, or you admit that they work and can't be broken. If a law of physics can be violated, we throw out the law and theory. Those laws are written in stone and have never been broken. Okay, I'm personally against all legal laws, but yeah, if we have a legal system, everything has to be by the books identical. Okay, no, those aren't the only 2 options. That's why there are things like, wait, what? Jurisprudence? I've never seen that word, I'm not even lying. And appeals courts. But I kind of feel like I'm talking to a 14-year-old who's failing social studies, so you probably don't know what those things are. I mean, I at least know what an appeals court is. I don't know what the other thing is. Oh, God, wall. Worst customer service ever. Hadn't even finished looking around before I was asked to leave the store because I hadn't boughten anything yet. Boughten. How could I know if I hadn't even looked at everything yet? I can't believe how embarrassing they made me feel. I'll never come back here again. I recommend any other outdoor store before this one. This is a picture of their parking lot during their so-called busiest hour. Haha. All right, here comes the owner. It's time for a throwdown. Cody, do I need to remind you that you're a serial shoplifter? Did you forget that the day before you came into our store, you were arrested on a felony charge, which is defined as grand theft, as unlawfully taking someone else's money, labor, or property with a value of $950 or greater. During that time, you were also charged with health and safety code violations. This prohibits you from possessing several types of narcotics, including methamphetamine. Looks like they let you out right after you were booked based on public records. The next day, you decide to come into our store and shop every single department, which isn't normal and typically a tactic shoplifters use while constantly moving and scanning looking for an opportunity to steal from us. We got tired of babysitting you, so we asked you to leave. You were not a customer, and you were not shopping. You came in specifically to steal something, and because my staff is very aware, they did not give you that opportunity. Nice try, dude. Keep in mind, not only were you asked to leave, but we also gave you an official trespassing warning. If you come back, you'll be trespassing, and we'll call the police and have you arrested. Kind regards. Haha. Short sellers are the dumb stormtroopers of the investing galaxy. Show us how little you understand about market history and public equities in 10 words or less. Thanks, Barry. When I grow up, maybe you can help me start a podcast and charge investors fees just like you. You little punk ass. Funny that for the cost of a John Lewis voucher, you could get a cleaner in. We get one every 2 weeks to do the stuff we don't want to do. Clean bathrooms, floors, windows. Best 35 pounds every 2 weeks I've ever spent. Your bathroom is cleaned every 2 weeks only? Yeah, I tend to use the toilet to take a piss rather than on the floor. Don't know how you're using it. I don't know. Some people like to shit and piss all over everything. I mean, you do you, I guess. What are the key traits of mediocre people at work? They ask the same stupid question every year. Oh, I really hate people like him. I'm completely convinced the Church of Satan was started by atheists purely for tax exemption purposes. We don't support tax exemption for religious organizations. We pay our taxes and challenge other churches to do the same. Reading our FAQ would have told you that. My body is a temple. Yours is a nightclub. Temples are open to everyone. Nightclubs have restricted access. Nice try, though. And there's a cover charge, honey. Come on. Fact-checking is a euphemism for editorializing, which is a form of censorship, and that's a fact. I read that you're a sociopath who eats puppies, doesn't know what a salad fork is, and only got into Harvard because your daddy gave the provost a handy. I guess I shouldn't check the facts on that, though. Facts are liberal propaganda. I went to a diner with my girlfriend and was told it was a 20-minute wait. After only a few minutes, a couple walked in and was seated right away. I complained and left right away. I don't tolerate bullshit, and I don't tolerate people who think I should care when they do. Tim, do you know what a reservation is? Well, this guy is Douche Canoe Prime, so I'm sure he does. He just doesn't care. Metaverse is the future. Why not own your own cabin on the Titanic? Because it sank, jackass. Now get your gross-ass f***ing profile picture away from me. Elon Musk is giving $100 million to anyone who can find a way to pull carbon dioxide directly from the atmosphere or oceans and sequester it durably and sustainably. Personally, I think $100 million is a bargain. This is a tree. This is what trees do. That is true. Also, I'm sure that even if a group of people found a way to do exactly what he's offering the money for and do it very, very well, he wouldn't pay them. No atheism or atheist can create computer. Once you're atheist, your ability to critically think shrinks. Really? I guess you've never heard of Alan Turing then. He was an atheist that literally created the first modern computers. Free speech is essential to a functioning democracy. Do you believe Twitter rigorously adheres to this principle? You just fired an employee because you didn't like the video he posted on YouTube. Oh, just to throw another log onto this fire, remember the time Elon Musk canceled the journalist Tesla order because he didn't like what he wrote? Yeah, freedom of fucking speech does not apply to social media. That's not what it fucking means. I have the best advice for women in business, Kim Kardashian says. Get your ass up and work. Yeah, you did that, didn't you, honey? It seems like nobody wants to work these days. No, I have the best advice. Be born into a rich family, get a shit ton of plastic surgery, film and then released an orchestrated sex tape, parlay that planned notoriety into a reality show exploiting younger sisters, and voila! Easy peasy. Yeah, she totally worked. Changing up the walk-ins tonight to highlight some of the incredible women in the Raptors organization for our International Women's Day game. Are they the cooks? Nah, but they'd cook you on the court. It bothers me when I hear young employees talk about work-life balance at an early stage of their lives. Work your butt off at the beginning, make money, save it, and then later in life aim for work-life balance as you'll need it with kids and partners, etc. Oh, a breeder. Wild as hell that you would log on to twitter.com to proudly announce to the entire ass internet that you exploit young workers and are bothered when they self-advocate and push back against being exploited. But you do you, I guess. I love people with this mindset. You shouldn't be allowed to have and live your life until you're like 85. You should be thankful for what I give you. You little piece of shit. Lame. Here's a cool detail for you. You're being an asshole is a foreshadowing of the later scene where you have a very lightly attended funeral. Damn, man. Good lord.